Welcome to the OT Tip of the Month. This is our final video in a series of discussing sensory-based tools for the classroom. Today, I want to share some information about LYCRA bands and Therabands and how you can use these in your classroom with your students. Similar to weighted lap pads and to vibrating seat cushions, when you use a Theraband or a LYCRA band wrapped around the bottom of the chair legs, it activates our proprioceptive system. Remember, that's our system that gives us our body map, where I am in space, but it also helps us to get regulated. So if we're kind of sleepy, tired, bored, it's going to wake our nervous systems up a little bit back to optimal. If we're mad, frustrated, kind of over the top, dysregulated, it also can help bring us down back into the optimal range for learning. So, two options I want to show you today. One is a Lycra band. So, this is Lycra sewn into a small circle. It's a little bit stretchy. And like I said, you put it at the bottom of the chair legs. That way, kids can bounce on the top of it, put their feet on the outside or behind or in the middle to activate their proprioceptors in their feet and their legs. The other option is to use a TheraBand. So this is a TheraBand tied into a circle. This particular one is blue. I would say this is kind of middle of the road as far as using it as a foot fidget on the bottom of your chair. There is heavier TheraBands. They're different resistance level. So a black TheraBand is going to be the heaviest, most sturdy resistance level. So if you're working with middle schoolers, high schoolers, you're using it with a lot of students, you're using it with students that require more intensity, you're going to want to use a black resistance level. If you're using this with kindergartners, first graders, kind of younger age level, you might be just fine with using the green TheraBand, which is a little bit lighter. So this is kind of right in the middle. If you're like, oh, I'm not sure what might be best, you can start with the blue. So it's easy once you put it on the chair legs. It's pretty intuitive for kids to figure out how they like it to feel on their feet. You can put it on individual student desks, chairs at their desks. Or if you're a teacher who does some group instruction at a table, you can put it on one of those chairs and students can kind of rotate in to use it. Again, you're going to want to just give them a heads up. Here's what it's used for. Here's how you use it. For any tool, when you introduce it into the classroom, it takes about a week, sometimes 2 weeks, for just the novelty of that tool to wear off, for kids to kind of go, oh, this is what it's for, this is how I use it, and kids to kind of settle in and go and, kind of find their groove and go like, yeah, this seems to be something that's really helpful, or no, it's not, and that's just fine. I hope you give this a try in your classroom. It's a quick, easy tool to add just a little bit more proprioception for our students, especially those ones that tend to be a little bit restless and a little bit fidgety.